Hey art friends, and welcome back to the Mandikins channel. Today we are going to learn how to dry flowers on a dime 2 different ways. First, you will need fresh flowers, and here I'm taking the tops off of some flowers and placing them on a dish. For the phone book method, you will need phone books, magazines, a heavy weight. This is a kettlebell, and some heavy books. You will also need parchment paper, scissors, your fresh flowers, and paper towels or some absorbent material. Now here are some flowers that I dried to see if any of the lettering or the ink would lift up into the flowers, and I found that it did not. So I was pleased that in a pinch I could use a phone book to dry flowers even without having baking paper on hand. I felt like it turned out very well. I'm going to show you the traditional way to do it. You can pause and read over the instructions if you'd like. Here's a quick rundown of what we'll be covering and an explanation for how to make a baking paper sandwich for use in a phone book or magazine. But we're going to go ahead and get started on making our baking paper sandwiches for the phone book. So you start by opening your phone book to the back and pressing it open. Then you'll use your absorbent paper, whether it be shop towel, paper towels, or tissue paper for gift wrapping. And you'll open up your paper and place it down in the crease of the book. I'm using pull-apart napkins here, and they work fairly well for this purpose. Now I'm going to open my folded baking sheet and place it in the crease. Then I'm going to begin placing flowers to be pressed, and I use my snips to cut the stem from the flower. You can place them face up or face down. Just keep in mind that however you arrange your flowers is how they will dry. These should be left to dry for between 3 and 4 weeks, and you can change the absorbent paper every 3 to 4 days. And this is a marigold. If you clip it too close, as I'm going to show you here, the petals will come apart. You can still dry them. And you'll want to make sure that you arrange your flowers so that they're not touching for the best result. When you have the flowers placed how you want them, you just simply fold over the baking paper and the absorbent paper, and then page over to another section and begin your baking paper sandwich again, placing your dried flowers between the pages and then closing it. After you've done this process several times, you can close your book and begin placing weights on top of it. You can place heavy books, and I've placed a weight on top of it for good measure just to make sure. Then I will move it to a location where it won't be disturbed. For the ironing method, I'm going to give you guys a bonus. I lost the film. This is an ironing pad that I made using just an old towel, a curved needle, and some embroidery thread, and a pair of snips. So this was really useful and helpful. I may make a video on how to create this. If any of you guys are interested, please let me know in the comments below. For the ironing method, this is how we're going to make our baking paper sandwich. You fold the baking paper in half and place the flowers inside and arrange as desired. Close the baking paper and place on top of the ironing board or towel. And I'm going to arrange the flowers as I desire them to be. Here I am taking my baking paper sheets and placing it down. Here I have 2 separate pieces cut. Set your iron to the highest setting without steam. This is very important that you want to ensure your iron does not have steam. Iron your flowers for 30 to 60 seconds at a time. You can allow them to cool in between until the flowers stop sizzling or making any noise. Allow the flowers to dry for an additional 1 to 2 days until they're similar to the consistency of tissue paper. Use it sort of like a stamp. You don't want to move the flowers around too much. It's probably better to pick up the iron and place it down on top of the flowers. And you want to do this until you stop hearing little hissing sounds coming from the flowers or leaves or whatever you've chosen to dry. I was very lucky and blessed to have had a very near and dear friend allow me to go through and collect some flowers from her garden and surrounding property, which I'm very grateful for, and a special shout out to Lisa. Many thanks. You can also go to public access, game management, other areas. Sometimes you can find beautiful wildflowers on this side of the road. I don't think there's any harm as long as you're not taking everything that's there. I don't really see a problem with it. I wouldn't like walk up in somebody's yard and just like decide I'm gonna take something. However, I did have a guest that decided they wanted to come into my garden and eat beans, but I thought that I would share. I did get some flowers from here. But isn't she pretty? Thanks so much for watching. If you found this content helpful, please give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment below and I'll try to get back to you. Subscribe and smash the notification bell so you don't miss any videos, and happy arting.